Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Between the Sharks. Here we are with the Hollywood Camaro, and this thing is kicking my butt in the worst way possible. I'm intimidated by it.
Intimidation.
And that's a problem. It's a really big problem.
But why?
First, potential for a breakdown is significant. It's vibrating really bad. 2, we have an issue with the tires rubbing. 3, LA is not where you want to break down with questionable paperwork and expired tags.
Is that a problem, officers?
And I've let all that add up to make me not really want to get miles on this car. And we're going to change that today. We've got to find out why this tire sticks out more than this tire. I've had a bunch of 70s Chevrolets, but this is my first 70s Chevrolet without a frame.
Say what?
So what we're looking at is a body firewall back with a subframe bolted to that body that holds the front suspension. That subframe looks like normal frame rails, but just bolts on under the car. It does not go all the way from front to back.
Why is that, Captain Rod? Well, nobody knows.
So with that construction in mind, we are looking at why this tire sticks out so much further. I would say it's 1.5 inches to 1.25 inches, which means something is off roughly half of that. Let's call it 5/8.
That was math.
Meaning that if we move something one direction 5/8, the opposite will also be true. Does that track? Does anybody follow that? Basically, if I moved it a full 1.25 inches one way, well, then we'd have an equal problem on the opposite side.
Well, that's how it works.
That's what I'm getting after, fellers. It is possible, as you guys have told me, that the subframe could be racked a little bit this away. So we're going to break out the little measuring tape, measure everything we can, and see if we can get a sense of what's actually going on here. Let's start with the wheelbase. We're going to assume the rear end is in the right place, and if the wheelbase is different from side to side, that would suggest that the subframe is actually racked or cattywampus. The wheel being kicked out this way would make this wheelbase shorter than the wheelbase on the other side. Factory, it's listed at 108 inches. Let's find out. So we're doing our best to line up with the center of the hub here. I mean, it's about as close as I can eyeball. So. Sure. All right, it's not NASA calibrated precision, but it looks very close to 108. So, feels very similar on both sides, which for me would be excellent news. Really, if we were proving the subframe was out of line, this side would need to be longer than 108, and that side would need to be shorter than 108. And I'm not seeing that. But there's another option we need to look at. The way these cars were assembled, it is possible for the front sheet metal to actually just be misaligned, which would reveal more tire on one side than the other. I see a bunch of evidence that that could be the case. Let's take a look at it. To me, this is the biggest piece of evidence. We have a pretty kind of okay door gap here. This body line and this body line are a little bit off, as you can see. But over here, we have almost no gap whatsoever. So if this fender pushed out, it would actually push the whole nose of the car that way. 1/4 inch here might equal closer to 1/2 inch up here when it's all said and done. Pretending that the hood is actually in the right place, this whole nose cone wants to go that way, I don't know, about 1/2 inch, if not a little more. Let's call it 5/8.
That was math.
I don't know if that would solve the tire rubbing issue, but it would definitely resolve this tire sticks out more than this tire. As I've said, I've been through this thing enough. I'm not seeing evidence of a wreck, meaning no new parts, no welds, no scratches, no paint. Would have had to been hit basically in the passenger side tire, knocking everything over just a little bit. But if that were the case, then the car would be basically trying to turn left all the time. Maybe it does want to be a NASCAR when it grows up one day. All right, so now we're going to do what we do on everything to try to see if it's square, which is we're going to measure diagonals. 70 3/4. Yep. Now, in theory, if this is the problem, this measurement should be longer.
Yep, that's good.
71 1/4. Sounds crazy, but that is excellent news. The fenders are too far this way. Our diagonal measurement says we need to go that way. The hood says we need to go that way. And this door gap says we need to go that way. All would push the front end over that way, which would make this tire stick out more and this tire stick out less. So I am poking around in here. So I was looking under the hood for the mounting holes for the whole front end. So I don't know how many there are, but I don't think there are that many. I think it's kind of a front clip unit type deal. The Bubba forensics don't really matter. I think we found an issue with sheet metal, so we should adjust that and see what results we get. Yeah. This first bolt was already pretty loose, so more evidence we're barking up the right tree. Starting to think I'm not going to get it. Round 27. We have underestimated this. Finding hidden bolts that are sort of attaching the front sheet metal to the subframe, and I've got a bad feeling that this alignment process normally happens with the nose cone off. So we're going to say that was fun, and then I'll put this all back together, and then we're going to move on to the other problems that we have, which is plenty. So that was like an hour of just kind of
waste of time.
What seemed obvious I loosened up, and I gave it the old heave-ho, and I didn't get anything. So we're going to call it great for now. Perfect. One of the other things that was intimidating me about driving this and breaking down on LA streets was, well, it wasn't registered, and the paperwork, you know, the dates were a little bit squishy on it.
That's legal, buddy. 100% legal.
I had to fly back to Atlanta for a week, take care of some business, to check on houses after some serious storms blew through. While I was there, I was able to actually register this car. Obviously, we are going to keep the OG license plate, 70s California plates for blue and yellow. Yeah, considering it's been a minute since I started it, because we were out of town from being out of town, see how it does. Take it. Not bad. All right, gang. Having a car that you don't want to drive because you're afraid of is absolutely no fun. So the way to learn to trust it is just to start taking it on little trips. Make those little trips longer and longer and longer trips. Like Captain Ron says,
Anything's gonna happen. It's gonna happen out there.
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen out there. So let's get out there. Right. This thing is long. It's weird though, because my truck's long, but it's long the other way, where you're kind of sitting closer to the front wheels. Front wheels on this thing are way out. If I miss the driveway, I'm gonna be in trouble. Because the Hollywood sign is literally right there. Swing back and inspect, see what happened, if anything. I smell something cooking, but I'm not used to it. All my cars smell like burning something. Just gotta know where and what is burning and know that it's all right. I'm not sure on this one. Well, we survived. was hilly, it was turning. We didn't rub the tires. We didn't rub the tires coming back in either. So that's good news. We're gonna, any pothole we hit is definitely gonna annihilate it, but we're not rubbing under normal circumstances. If you smell a little bit of something, who knows? Could be anything, could be everything. I'm gonna pop the hood, see if we see smoke. Fans just kicked on. I mean, everything's looking pretty great. Let's see if the relay sticks. Not that time. $2025 continues to make absolutely zero sense, but it is full of adventure, and so I'm very, very grateful for that. Thank you guys for watching. As always, good luck on your projects out there, and we will see you next time on Between the Sharks, when who knows what will happen. I most certainly don't. It's been a wild year so far. It's gonna continue to be. All right, gang, we'll see you soon. Also, don't forget, we got some merch for sale. We've got Between the Sharks hoodies, t-shirts, coffee mugs, stickers, all kinds of duds for all kinds of people, for all kinds of sizes and all kinds of prices. Every bit of it helps support the channel. It's the only reason I bring it up, because I do enjoy doing this, but it takes work, takes time, takes effort, takes money, and yeah, so appreciate you supporting it all the way up till now, and I appreciate your continued support. All right, we'll see you next time.